What up? It's Tuesday. It's July 1. So I've been busy with work and building shit, fixing shit, different jobs. I was supposed to start this a while ago, several months ago, but I just got pushed back. But I think pretty much to Halloween, I'm just gonna get done. So I can build a shredder. So my steel is in the garage. That's gonna be the Kabuto helmet, which is here. Japanese Kabuto helmet. So it's two pieces. It's gonna be the mouth guard and the helmet overall. It's gonna be steel, and then aluminum pieces which are all right here. And mark out right here. And cardboard. I'll cut it up, and when I'm happy with the shape, then I'll cut it out aluminum, and eventually build everything. So all this armor will be aluminum. Can't be steel because it'd be way too heavy. So I just opened the bag and spread this out just to get kind of a layout of what I have to do, my attack plan basically. So these are the spikes that are in the costume. That. They're roughly 3/16. The plate that I'm going to use is about 7/16. 3/8 to 7/16, but it's much fatter. It's going to be actual metal. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 6, 36 pieces of these small ones, and then 4 pieces of these daggers that go on the right on the wrist. And then the Kabuto helmet is separate. That's going to be steel. Look how cheap this is. This thing was like, what did I pay for this? 45 bucks, I think? But I kind of do see it's a lot of work in stitching and stuff. But anyway, it's foam, it's cheap, it's simple, but mine's going to be much better. Alright, so check it out. This is what I kind of drew out. So there's the daggers, and for the knuckles, I just kind of went over about 3/16 to a quarter. That's where my cuts will be. This is the plasma torch that I'll be using to cut my pieces out. So if I make this template, I'll imagine that hole there being that size, so I'll stick the torch in there, and then I'll just follow along the template. And I'll get 4 exact pieces of these, and then likewise this one will be oversized, so when I cut, it'll be on the curve of what the actual blade size is. So I'll make 36 of those, and 4 of those. So that's how that'll work. Alright, I'll get going in a second. Got my plasma ready, got my air compressor making air. I drilled a pilot hole at 3/16 so I could get started. And I'll just chase around that line and then clean it up, and that'll be my template to cut all these pieces. And likewise I'll do the same for the big dagger. So let's do that right now. 36 pieces of the shredder spikes right there of the costume. Hello, it's Saturday. It's 8:32. I just wrapped up here in the shop, cleaned up, cleaned my mess. There was a big old mess of aluminum drops and shadings down there. So I'm done for now. All my pieces are burnt out. They look okay, but I do need to do some sanding tomorrow. These were all cut with plasma. There were like 2 pieces I cut with my bandsaw. That still needs to be finished anyway, but it was just faster with the plasma. These are my long daggers that go on the knuckle. Those are those right there. So, and these helped a lot, the stencils that I made. That way they're all pretty much exactly the same. So I'll be sanding tomorrow and building the plates that we weld onto. And yeah, so this is what I'm doing right now. Got everything drawn out. Shin guards, forearm guards, shoulder guards. That's all going to get cut out shapes. And eventually all those spikes will get welded on. And finally, the Kabuto helmet will be last. But for now I'm doing all these bugs with spikes. Alright, my shredder's looking good. I'm wrapping it up. I'm done. I've already cleaned up around here. It's about 8:40. Pretty happy with this. Pretty soaked. It's looking good. It's actually looking like a thing now, so that's awesome. Check it out. So I placed all my spikes in approximate position of where they're going to sit. What I'm going to do before I make my curls, before I make any kind of bending, I'm going to draw lines that are going to be perfect, and I'm going to drill like a 1/4 inch or a 3/8 hole on each one, maybe 2 of them. And it's going to be a plug weld on the back side. That way, on the front side of the costume, you don't see anything. But yeah, I'm happy. That's good. Alright, this is going. So I'm going to start forming my metal now. I'm going to start shaping it, start pushing it out. So like the shoulder pad there is dished, and the shin guard is curled like that. So this is the shin guard, shoulder pad, and this is the forearm right there. I'm going to bend here for the wrist with the 2 spikes that go right there. So what I did now is I marked all my holes that are going to be the plug welds, which will hold every spike. So the spikes will be placed, once it's curled and all that and everything, it's going to be placed, and then I'm going to plug weld from the back side. So on the front side, you don't see very much of a weld, if any at all. So the reason why I did it while it was flat is that way I can get an accurate line of where this spike will land. Because if I do it after it's curled and dished, it's going to be really hard to get an accurate line. Anyway, so that's what's up. And I drilled it with 3/16, which is this one right here. Alright, let's get curling.
All I gotta say is everybody coming back from the iHeartRadio Music Festival, they're gonna need to love it, because what an amazing show. Maroon 5 last Friday. Yesterday was Mariah Carey and Ed Sheeran. Man, good. No, speechless. Anyhow, until I get it's happening Friday. I was gonna say it's Friday. It's kind of for Friday. Jonathan and Val, say thank you for listening to the show. And so, of course, but Friday, listen to Valentine Morning starting at 7 a.m. for a chance to have a $4 gas card for a full tank Friday. All right, right here on mine. 4-3.
As the old saying goes, lawyers.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on
until July. Now I know that you love me. You don't need to remind me. Should put it all behind me, shouldn't I? But I see her in the back of my mind all the time. Like a fever, like I'm burning like the sun.
Hello, it's Tuesday, about 8:40, and I'm working on Shredder, just kind of laying things out for what I'm going to do tomorrow. Shin guard is pretty much done, gauntlets are pretty much done. They're pretty easy because they just needed to be bent one way. The shoulder pad, however, has to get bent 4 ways, so I'm going to do what I did with Vega many years ago, the Vega mask, which is, since I don't have a shrinker stretcher, I'm cutting little pie shapes out of this template, and what's going to happen is that's going to get transferred into the metal, as I did there. I'll cut that tomorrow, then I'll fold it in, it'll look like that, then I'll weld everything in, and then I'll be able to get a more accurate dish to copy the shoulder pad, which is that thing right there. So, yeah, it's going, and there's my anvil, looking good. So, I'm going to mark and then cut tomorrow. Happy Wednesday. It's about 8:45, I think. Working on Trevor. All my aluminum pieces, like the shin guards and the gauntlet, that's all in the car. I've bent everything as they should be bent, and they look really nice. I packed them up there in the car for taking them to work tomorrow. I'm going to sand them in 320 and make them nice and pretty, and then bring them back home, and then I'll polish them with my polisher, make them nice and mirror-like. Likewise with all the spikes and stuff, I'll do the same thing with those, and it's going to be really nice once it gets welded together. I'm working on the Kubo helmet, so it's going to be 3 pieces. You got the helmet itself, which will be this guy right here, some 20 gauge mild steel, and then I've got the mouth guard, which is a separate piece, and it's going to be this guy right here, much thicker, 12 gauge mild steel. So that's going to be that with the cutouts. The movie helmet looks so much better than the cartoon helmet. It's just, yeah, it's more of a challenge too. So I'll do that. And inside there's chainmail also, just like in the back of the helmet, there's chainmail. For the chainmail, I've got this chain that I've had for several years. Really expensive stuff. I figured I'd use it for that. So that'll look nice against it. And you got the top armor thing over the helmet, and that's going to be this guy right here, 16 gauge, 6061 aluminum. So 3 pieces for the helmet. I'm going to draw out, cut them out in cardboard, see what they fit. If they fit, then I cut them in metal, and then go from there. Oh, happy Saturday. It's about 1:35. Working on Shredder. I'm gonna take a break now. I'm gonna go get some lunch, and then I'll come back to this. There's a lot of polishing to do. I just kind of barely started. There's my shoulder pads. There's the shin guards, and then these are gauntlets that go on the arm. And then I only polished 4 of these little spikes. I've got all of these left to do, and then weld it up, and then see what it looks like. And I still need to weld on like some, I guess, tabs to hold the little belts on. Maybe 2 or 3 belts on the gauntlet, and then maybe 2 on the shin, and like that. So I'm still behind. I have shit to do today, shit to do tomorrow. We'll see what happens, but I'm trying to get on this. Happy Saturday. 10:22 in the morning. I'm working on the, I guess, what would you call them? So this is the inside of the shin, for example, or inside of the gauntlet. Each piece is going to have 2 straps, one upper, one lower, just like the arm, one upper, one lower. So everything is handmade. I just cut all these right now. I drilled them the other day. I cut them all. One is for holding two dowels. One is for holding a single dowel. Single dowel over here, double dowel over here. So the leather belt, leather strap goes from one single dowel and goes around the double dowel, and that's how you like tighten it up, you know. So it's going. You got to assemble all these, weld them all, then they'll weld them in. All right, so these are all assembled now, ready to weld. Happy Tuesday. It's 5:51. Working on Shredder again. So today's the 21st. Got 10 days exactly to Halloween. All the armor's done, as you know, if you've been watching the videos for Shredder. So that's all done. And it's fantastic. I love it. Now I'm working on the Kabuto helmets, as I've been doing. This is the face mask, which is done. I was waiting on this to arrive, which should arrive today. It's the mesh that I'm using for the inserts of these cutouts of the mask. Now the movie one is a little bit different. The movie one looks like this. It's got bigger diamonds or bigger squares, which actually it kind of makes me think they just use chicken wire. But I found this, which is much finer, 3mm by 6mm, and I like it better. So I decided to buy this one instead. I used my template that I used to cut out the aluminum as my form to cut out my screen, and of course I'm gonna add it from the inside. But that's what's up. That's what's going on. And this is I just cut this out today, maybe like an hour ago. This is the bottom side of the crown. I've still got to cut some more pieces to it, and of course I've got to, you know, clean off all the markings from the manufacturer that it's 6061 aluminum. So that's the base, and then I've got to do a side piece and then another side piece because it's going to look like a crown. And I have to shape it and all that, weld it all together, and ultimately polish everything all together, just like everything else. It's so much better. So, I don't know what the fuck this was that I did. Once again, I don't know how I got that angle, but it's terrible. Terrible. It's so much better. So, there's the bottom. Getting over the table here. So, there's the stump that I carved around a half like crater into, so I could get the shape of a round dome into it. So there's the mask, and then there's the crown that's going to eventually go over the helmets. And it looks so much better. That's how it's supposed to be. At least this is the base of it. From here it goes on up to this inside part and the outside part, but this is the beginnings of it. This is the part you don't see actually, but it's going to take the lead for forming the top of the crown. And that looks so much better. That looks like Shredder. That is garbage. So, it is what it is. My boy. Hello, it's Halloween. It's Halloween. 6 months doing this thing. On and off, actually, because like I've said so many times, I just have jobs that come up and just has to get pushed to the back, which is fine. I appreciate the job I have to do. It is what it is. But, it's Halloween. It's awesome. So there's the helmet. Pretty much calling it done now. That's the helmet part. Unfortunately, I did not have time to make it out of metal. This was the piece right here. Right here. This piece of sheet right there. That is steel. That's a hot rolled steel that I was going to make the helmet out of. Unfortunately, of course, I ran out of time. So, I kind of cheated. What I did was I went on eBay, or I think it was Amazon, I think. I bought this Roman helmet. It's just plastic. It cost me about 12 bucks. It was a little small, but it didn't matter because I was going to cut it anyway, so I just needed it for the dome. So I used that, and then I took oh, check it out. Check it out. This is what I did. This was my sense of being creative here. So this is a bucket. I bought a black bucket because I needed the plastic from it, and I needed it round. So I paid like $7.50 for this bucket from Lowe's. You can see the form I cut out. And that is the back part of this Samurai Kabuto helmet. And that's what I used to extend the existing helmet that I bought to make it a Kabuto helmet. And yeah, so I riveted it on. I sized it up, made sure everything was square and good, and I riveted it on, and I put epoxy in there. That was last night, and then tonight I did the chainmail. I just kind of riveted those on. Spent the last hour and a half or so with rivets, just kind of taking this old chain I've had for a long time. It's actually kind of dusty. You can kind of see in the chain. There's dust on the chain, so I'll probably have to wipe that off. But it's pretty cool. So that's there, and then this is the crown, which I'm actually not happy with. It was such a rush to kind of get it done, but here's the crown basically. So that's going to get kind of bolted onto the top of the helmets, and then that will go in conjunction with the mouthpiece right here. So that goes like that. So looking good. Anyway, happy Halloween. So there it is. These are really uncomfortable. But, you know, it's a fictional character. There's the shin guards. There's the gauntlets. And there's the shoulder pads. Yeah, good times. So there's that. All ready to go. All right, let's go get it. There's everything put away. So there's a little rack I have with stuff I've built over the years. Kung Lao helmet, or hat actually, Razor hat, Kung Lao. Actually signed by Anthony Marquez, the actor that plays Kung Lao in Mortal Kombat 2 and 3. Katana War fans, Edward Scissorhands gloves. Yeah, good stuff. So overall I am happy with it, but I don't like that crown. I think later this year I'm going to redo that crown, make it correct out of thicker aluminum, and it'll be right. Because the mouth guard looks good, the helmet itself looks good, but the crown looks so shitty. It was such a rush to get it done. But yeah, I'll kind of get back into this in a few months right before this year's Halloween, because I also have other things to build, like the TGRI canisters. I've got to build some other Ninja Turtle stuff, and I've got to build Shredder's spear. So I bought all that stuff to make it, but I ran out of time. So it'll get done in the next few weeks. But for now, I'm ending the video with what's done so far. And then in time, I don't know if in a few weeks or in a few months, but I'll get back on Shredder, make this correct, and add more to it. Thanks for watching my videos.